Good morning, South Florida.
And welcome to the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Grab your coffee as we brew up the talk of the day.
From the latest scoop around town
to feel-good stories and messages of hope.
A few jokes and live calling.
Highlighting local businesses.
Discussing hot trends and news stories.
A dash of feel-good nostalgia.
I love those morning cartoons.
Keeping up with upcoming events.
Sometimes trying our delicious foods.
Weekly horoscope updates.
An occasional flying duck.
Some sparkle dust.
Don't forget my bell.
And my wand.
With our brew crew laughing on set.
So grab your coffee, your bagel, donut, or any breakfast as we get you up and ready for the rest of your day.
And don't leave us hanging. Give us a follow. Comment live or call right into the show at 888-994-4995 Studio B.
Whether it's a tip of the day or just to say good morning, we'd love to hear from you.
From App Media Production Studio, it's
the Brooklyn Cafe Morning Show.
Dawn, where's the snooze button?
Ready, it's time to get up. We got a show to do. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Hang tight, guys. Pressing the snooze one more time.
And it's time to do a show.
Morning time, snooze button.
Welcome. Oh my goodness gracious. Welcome.
Nightmare on Elm Street, or is that Nightmare Before Christmas?
I don't know what the hell. This is a movie, isn't it? What movie is it?
He's going to let us know. Is it Nightmare Before, or is it Beetlejuice? Or Beetlejuice? Or one Beetlejuice? I don't know. Anyway. Beetlejuice. Happy, what's today? Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh. I didn't see that because I just saw the nightmare.
Happy Tuesday to you.
Wednesday. How'd you like
Wednesday?
the event last night?
The event last night was unbelievable.
Why?
We went to... This is like all over the place over here.
I'm everywhere.
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Anyway, the event last night was great. We're at Thoreau Social, and it was an event to benefit Julia Starr Foundation, which is a foundation to bring awareness to childhood cancer awareness. That was September. They kicked off this Delray, all the activities happening in Delray. This month for October, there's like 21 activities happening, and Julia Starr Foundation kicked it off yesterday. They partnered with PNF Accounting Services, and they were just amazing. What they put together at Throw Social.
It was really
Did you have a good time?
I did. We met a lot of people.
A lot of great people.
A lot of people we knew there on our days being
up in Delray.
But it was fun. It was nice. A good cause. A lot of people came out. They were dressed in gold.
You gave your necklace away, didn't you?
I gave one away.
Who'd you give it to?
I gave it to the wrong guy. I was supposed to give it to the guy from
the owner?
The PB guy. I didn't give it to him. I gave it to some other guy.
Why?
Because I couldn't hear. The band was so loud, I couldn't hear anybody. So she said, oh yeah, he's giving the chain away. I think that's what she said. And I gave it to some guy. I said, here you go.
Yeah, I saw you give your disco chain away.
I didn't like it anyway.
Did you have a good time?
It aged me. I had a great time.
It aged you?
Yeah. Yeah, they say, oh, disco died. The guy tells me disco died. That's why he got the chain. You know, disco's dead.
Gotcha.
Yeah, now you're going to wear it.
Gotcha.
Sucker.
But what a great event. They had over 100 people. The food was great, included drinks, light bites. They were sold out. They raised over $5,000 in ticket sales alone. I'm not sure how much they raised in the raffles, but everything had been donated, which was an amazing opportunity.
You have fun?
I had a good time. We met a lot of great people. Saw some old friends, like you said, some new people.
The crew had a good time.
Casey and Neville came with us, which was pretty cool.
He was doing the band. He has a stand. I don't get you guys. So he has a stand to put the camera on. So he holds it. He holds the stand with the camera on it. Why is that?
I'm not too sure.
Poindexter's going to try and make sense of what Neville did.
We have to ask Encyclopedia. Why would, if you have a stand, not put it on the stand so it's level and you're holding it, so now it's like this?
Yeah. I don't know what to say to that, because if you have a stand, you should just like let it stay there without having to hold it. That's like the whole like point behind having a stand.
Are you a multimedia major? What's your major?
Yes, I'm majoring in film, so. specifically animation, but yeah. It's sort of like all like combined together because at my school, Palm Beach State, I also have to do a bunch of like film related classes like as well.
Do you have to draw?
Yes, I also have to take some drawing classes. I'm not the greatest by any means.
So how can you do animation if you can't draw?
Well, here's the thing. So
Here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
Related in the field of animation, specifically storyboard artist, which is basically all I have to do is rough drawings, and I could also write the plot, which is what I really, really want to do. Write the plot and design characters and stuff. But my drawings don't have to look all that pretty because someone else can just make them look better.
So let me get this right. So you create content for shows?
Well, that is what I want to do in the future, but...
Oh yeah. So what are you doing in the present?
Well, I'm doing this in the present.
Well, you're also working on you're going to do the movie piece for us.
That's
Yay or
right.
nay, right? So we're going to talk about that.
Like a Siskel and Ebert type of thing?
You remember? He doesn't know
Yeah.
Cisco. And
I know, they're too young.
I've heard of them before, but I'm more like experienced with like modern internet critics.
Okay, I know them too.
Are you a thumbs up or a thumbs down kind of guy when it comes to movies?
I usually try to watch movies that I like because they just make me feel good. They put me in a good mood. So.
But how do you know you're going to like it until
Freddie's
you see
always
it?
the thumbs down kind of guy. He doesn't like anything.
Not true.
You like movies?
I love movies. I go to every movie because I expect it to enlighten me like him.
Does it?
Not always.
I don't really go to a lot of movies. I
Well,
fall
then
asleep doing
you
everything.
shouldn't say that I don't like movies. I live movies.
But you
don't
like to.
movies.
You like. I do like them. I just fall asleep during them, so it's just
Well, you
never a
don't
good
like-
thing for me.
It's the same way. She always falls asleep halfway through.
Then
I
you
know.
can't say whether or not you liked it.
There are times I fall asleep during the opening credits. Like it's just a
You're
bad
not a-
situation.
you're not a movie person.
I'm just
You-
not a good movie person.
You definitely
to
shouldn't
go
go to the movies because, if I wanted to hear somebody snore, I would have stayed home. But the bottom line. Now, what do you do if you're at a movie theater and somebody's snoring?
You hit them.
Literally.
You wake 'em up?
Happened to me a few years ago. Incredibles 2 saw it in theaters. My sister fell asleep halfway through, snored very loud. That's
Did you
all
wake her?
I tried to, and she was just like, just let me sleep. And I couldn't do anything. I was just stuck there while hearing snoring one ear and the movie out of the other ear.
And nobody told you anything?
No, we kind of just laughed at it after the fact. She was like, "Oh, I'm so sorry, but I was just like so tired." So.
What would you do if the person next to you or behind you is snoring during a movie?
I wake them up.
What do you do? Throw popcorn at them? Like, what would you do?
Well, I was at Cats. No, was it Cats? I think it wasn't Cats. I think it was another one. I was at a play in New York, and I was in the orchestra. And this guy started snoring. So I got up, and I screamed at him, "Wake up!" And he woke up, and everybody's laughing. I said, "Do you think I pay good money to sit here to have you snore?" And I just looked at him, and he was like this. "I'm sorry." And everybody's laughing. I said, "Don't worry about it."
The show I went to last weekend, there was no orchestra pit. They had the orchestra all over the set, which was really cool.
I don't know about that.
So they had, I'm telling you, it was really interesting because
Where'd you go
normally
see?
I went to see Hell's Kitchen.
That was the name of the play?
Yeah, name of the play was Hell's
Oh,
Kitchen.
that's with
Alicia
Beyonce?
Keys.
Oh, Alicia Keys.
So they had the keyboard like on the second floor on the set on
Was she
like
there?
the stances. No. And then they had a guitar
What?
on
Wait a
another
minute.
side.
What?
Alicia Keys was not there. I don't know if she was not there. But the orchestra they were all over the place,
No,
which was
no,
really
no,
cool.
no, forget about
And then on the monitor, there was a keyboard that they were watching on the monitor from the set. So he was someplace else. And then they had the violins, they had the strings behind the screen, because when they did the credits at the end, they focused on them. But there was no orchestra pit right in the front. I know. It was crazy, right?
No.
That used to be
Why
my
didn't
favorite
you go
thing.
see this if she's not in the play?
Because she's the executive producer of the play. Her music was there. But here's the thing. The thing I didn't know, there's this singer who I
Did
think...
she just say she's the executive producer? I went to see Alicia Keys. I ain't going to see nobody else.
But there's an amazing singer. She's the mom. I didn't realize she was the mom. This woman
Who is
named
she?
Shoshana Bean. And I listen to her music all the time. She does American Jukebox, and her
She was
voice
the play?
is phenomenal.
She was in
and
the
I didn't
play?
know until I downloaded the music.
She was in the play.
She was the mother
Not Alicia
with this
Keys.
amazing voice.
Not Alicia
Not,
Keys.
not Alicia Keys.
What
But
a
Alicia
rip.
Keys' music was all in
Yeah,
there.
but so what? So I'm saying.
But listen, it gives you a whole new perspective of her music on who's singing. Like there was one song that she does at the end. It's a mother-daughter, and it's so when you're listening to it, it's not a mother-daughter, but it's like, wow, it's just about love, and it can be anything your
she
mind
didn't come
puts
out for that
perspective
either?
to. No, she wasn't there.
She wasn't there.
She wa-
You know for a fact she wasn't
I
there.
don't know for a fact
And
she
you
wasn't
still
there.
went to this. You smelled the subway. You rode the subway.
Got sick in the
to
subway.
see
Yeah.
Alicia Keys, who was not in the play.
But she wrote. But it was her music. Her music is amazing. Ever go to a show? Every time I go, I think of Baxton because then I have to listen to the music over and over and over again, like Baxton would on the show. So I've already on the plane downloading the music, this musical score, and it was all Alicia Keys music. So I probably have some of it anyway. But
Was she there?
no, but Shoshana Bean was there, and she's amazing. So if you get a
Would
chance to
you
listen
pay
to
for a
Shoshana
ticket
Bean,
for Alicia Keys and then she's not there? Would
if
you
Alicia
pay?
Keys were there, the tickets would have been double the price of what they were. I am
That's
sure.
okay. That's why I thought you went to see Alicia Keys.
No.
Or I would have said, I would have stood up and said, "Where's Alicia Keys? This is a ripoff."
And then I'm a marketer's best dream because they file you to the bathroom. So if you're a woman going during intermission to the bathroom, you know there's going to be a line.
Hey, Brady, it's like he goes to the Mets play and the Mets aren't even playing.
They're not the Mets. They're the B team. The B team is playing. I went to a spring training game and I was right behind the dugout. And I said, "Yo, where are the players? These ain't the players. I didn't come to see these guys."
But they have the bathroom situation down to a T.
What? One person at a time? That ain't.
They have you funnel down the stairs. I don't know how anyone who's handicapped can get down there, but you go down the stairs, and then it's like being in Disney World. You go through the line to get in and out. They've got a
They
time.
have a
They know
line?
how many can go in. It's a big bathroom, actually. How fast you get out, and you've just enough time to get from intermission downstairs, go through the bathroom, and they do the call, and you're back up.
So what if you got the runs
You got a problem.
and you're late?
You got a problem.
Is there only one bathroom for everybody?
No, ladies' room was the bigger
Was
one.
Alicia Keys in the bathroom?
Alicia Keys was in the bathroom.
She's in the bathroom?
She was directing everyone to go back upstairs.
But did you see
So
her?
you don't even have time to go get a drink because you got to go to the bathroom.
Did you go to the bar?
No, I sent Chuck to the bar.
Did he see Alicia Keys?
He saw some ladies in front of him apparently that were discussing and analyzing the music of Alicia Keys.
But she wasn't in the building.
No, but then I wanted
Was
to buy
there
a
a
hoodie.
poster of Alicia Keys somewhere? Like a cardboard thing you could take a picture with?
On the marquee outside, it said Hell's Kitchen by Alicia Keys.
But Alicia wasn't in the building.
She was not in the building.
Shame.
I know,
That's crazy.
right? Great show, though. Just saying, great show. I know. What's your favorite Broadway show you ever saw?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Cats. I saw it 10 times.
Really? Ever seen a Broadway show?
I personally haven't. The only place I saw were like plays back in like high school that I was like forced to go see.
What'd you see?
It was whatchamacallit movie where like
The whatchamacallit movie? There's a movie.
play I mean sorry.
There's a play called whatchamacallit. There is.
Really? Huh.
On Broadway.
He's like, huh?
Huh.
You
What
like
was there in
Broadway?
the movie?
I would like to, but the only show I've seen were like high school plays and one called Stone Super.
It was Rent. That
Rent.
was
Rent was amazing. I
It's a
love the
great
book
movie.
Stone
It's a
Soup.
Great
After
play.
I read it in grade school, we took a field trip a couple days later, a week later, to go and see the full play of Stone Soup. It was good.
Isn't Les Miserables a play? Les Miserables?
Yes.
Okay.
So?
So when I went to Hawaii, on the ship, this woman won the contest for singing.
Okay.
So Michelle and I became friends with her and her husband. We hung up on the beach and everything else. It was really cool. So when we got back, they invited us to their wedding in the back of Les Miserables. I'm wondering.
In the
what was-
theater?
In the theater.
So they must
They
have
got
been
married
theater
in the
people.
theater. She was the backup lead singer to the lead actor.
But then she should not have won if she was understudy.
Well, nobody knew that.
Wow.
And she was phenomenal. She won that thing. I said to her, I'd go buy you a trophy again because you were unreal. And then they found out. They wanted her to give back the trophy. She said, nope.
Yeah. There's nothing like a Broadway show. Amazing. But then, there's the marketing of it. There's the sweatshirts, the hoodies, the shirts, all
You
the
buy that
things.
stuff?
So I wanted to buy something because I loved the saying on it.
I wouldn't have bought nothing on this one, though.
So what happened is I didn't get to buy it there.
Alicia Keys wasn't there.
So Chuck says to me, I am sure you can buy it online. So sure enough, you can buy anything and everything online. There's like the Broadway online merch store. So I'm going to have to go in and get something that I need to get.
You know,
He says, so you find a $40 water bottle necessary? Well, yes, because it says what I want it to say. He goes, it's a $40 water bottle.
you know, but Chuck is like, you know, you buy a balloon and he takes the air out
Like
of
pop.
it.
Yes,
So
I'm going to buy this water
So
bottle.
all you get is a rubber. So if
All you get is a rubber with
instead of buying
a
a balloon,
hole
you
in
buy a
it.
rubber.
See how far that hole's going to get you in that rubber.
You know, you have to buy. It's like you go to the Met game, right? I go to Met game. I love to go watch the Mets play. So I get a hot dog. Cost me $18. The beer, $20. So who cares?
You have to experience it. So here's what's said on everything. Remember where dreams begin. Is that not so me?
No.
Totally me. Remember where dreams begin.
You know where the dreams begin? Was Alicia Keys there?
So I got to buy the water bottle. I might buy you a shirt. Which one a shirt?
For what? She wasn't there.
I'll ever sign your shirt.
I love Alicia Keys. I'm going to tell you something.
Really, I haven't noticed.
Oh, I'm going to tell you. I loved the woman. I loved her when I was in New York. I went to her concerts. I got to tell you one thing. If I get a play about Alicia Keys and she ain't there, I'm going to jump up on the stage and say, okay, where is she? I want to see Alicia. I want to see her now.
But it's like a fresh perspective because you lived in an apartment building growing up, for lack of a better word, right?
Yeah.
How many floors?
Depends on what stage of my life. I was on the second floor. I was on the fourth floor. I was on the fifth floor. I was on the sixth floor. I was on the third floor.
So she talks about being like on the 47th floor of her,
Hell to the no.
and what it was like.
Not in Hell's Kitchen.
Well, that's what that's
She's
why I'm
so-
asking. Was it
no.
that high up?
Wow. Hell's
Was there a
Kitchen,
bit-
47. She must have been on the Lower West Side.
Buildings
Where
that big?
was- There's some Lower West Side buildings that big, yeah, in Harlem and things of that nature.
So she talks about 47th floor, and then every floor, she heard every time she went down to the next floor, the elevator scenes. It was very cool. It was very well done.
Elevator scenes.
Yeah.
What'd she do? She bought drugs, booze.
And they talked about that also.
Groceries. Every floor is another market.
Every floor is another something. But no, they was with music and singing and all different things like that.
You see, I can't talk about Manhattan
Why?
because Spanish Harlem and Black Harlem, I didn't grow up in there. My mother and father lived in Spanish Harlem for a little bit. Then they moved up to the South Bronx. So in the South Bronx, it was a little bit different. You know, and that was just survival mode all the way around. There wasn't these beautiful stores on each floor.
They didn't say there were stores. They didn't say where there's stores.
It's
It
not
was
a
people
store.
singing and what her experiences were
Yeah.
traveling in the elevator every
you
day.
You could buy pot on the fifth floor.
They didn't talk about any of
You
that.
could buy booze
Probably
on the fourth
true.
floor. You could buy Golden Janes on the third floor.
They didn't talk about any of that. But it's interesting. There's a new commercial out, American Express, about this woman who started a Pilates studio in Harlem and totally changes everything. I guess Harlem has been redone, rebuilt, upscale. Things are changing.
Harlem, you can't even buy the burnout units now are in the millions. You can't even buy property in Harlem.
Can you imagine if you had property and kept it?
In Harlem?
Yeah.
I couldn't afford it back then, and I definitely can't afford it now. When I went to work for Charlie Wrangler, I was going to NYU, and I had to go to 125th Street.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to walk from the subway to his office, which I got to tell you, I wish Alicia Keys was there. So I get over to Charlie Wrangler's
Morning.
office, and I say, and he looks at me, and his right-hand lady was white. So me and her were the only white people in the whole building. And Charlie came out and says, "You walked from the train?" And I said, "Yes, Mr. Wrangler, I walked from the train." So she says to him, "Well, why didn't you send somebody to go get him at the train?" And he said, "Well, I didn't know this white ball was going to come down here, and I didn't know that." He went on and on and on. So I interviewed with him. He says, "Okay, you're going to start," because he knew that I was Spanish. He was moving up to 181st Street the next day. That's why he brought me in, not to be in Harlem. And then he called some gang member, and 5 guys show up, and they took me to the train. He said, "Make sure nothing happens to this young man." And it took me, I think it was the A train. And it took me back to the train.
Because they think you're white.
Yeah, well, I mean,
You do look a little
not
fair.
green. So, but it was funny because the way Charlie brought me to earth real quick when I was there. And he taught me a lot. He says, you know, there's the right way There's the wrong way, and then there's the Charlie Rangel way. I said, whoa, tell me about this. And I learned. I learned how to deal with businesses and business owners and their problems and the community. And, you know, you never take one step forward, Charlie says. You have to take 2 steps, one in this direction and one in this direction, because you're never going to make everybody happy.
That's true. Did you see anyone see the debate last night?
Sorry?
I saw parts of it, and I don't know. I find debates to be like so frantic and radically because everyone's arguing and like.
Not last night.
They were pretty civil last night.
What do you say?
Last night it was so civil it was boring. There was
No,
no,
but
WWF.
There was nothing.
But that's what you want it to be. You want it to be professional and like completely like good. Because sometimes it's embarrassing when you see American politicians arguing over nonsense, which is it just embarrasses America in general.
Let me tell you, the joke about last night was that they agree so much with one another that the 2 of them should run a ticket. The 2 of them should be the president, vice president. Forget, they're the only ones that make any freaking sense.
The only controversy was when they talked about who their running mates were. But them to them?
Well, they were talking about, one guy says they have to change their image. He was honest enough to say, you have to change your Republican image because we scare people. Well, you know, Vance, when you say the things that you say about cats and women, you're going to scare everybody. But the one thing that threw me in that whole debate, and I told you, I thought he was going to be a bully. No, he went the other way.
He was
the
well
nicest
spoken,
guy.
I have to tell you.
He was a politician. Finally saw J.D. Vance, he was a politician.
He was well spoken, well put together, great eye contact.
But when they asked him the question,
About the migrants?
no, forget about that. That just turned into a chaos. When they asked him about did you lose the elections? Did Trump lose the elections at the end? Can you say yes or no? He lost the election. He would not answer it. He danced around it, and even Walt said, "Boy, that's the best the best denial of answer I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah, there was no answer.
But he agreed. He kept saying the 2 of them. They met all over the night shows. They had the
danced
clip.
around it.
I agree with him. I agree with him. I agree with what he says. I agree with what they were so civil to one another. Nothing was changed as far as I'm concerned last night.
I know, and you thought it was going to change it. And apparently the voters are saying, you know what? Really didn't matter what happened last night. That was not going to change people's opinion one way or another. They're still voting for the main candidate, whoever that is.
Whoever it is.
The country's divided 50-50 either way, so it's really about who can get the undecided voters. Either way, like those people aren't going to change their minds.
Have you guys decided on who you're voting for?
Yes and no.
So you're undecided.
Technically, I yes, because I want to vote third party because I find
Yeah, but you find that if you do that, you're going to be throwing away a vote to something that's going to change your life.
sometimes because that's also like people saying I understand that giving a third vote away is throwing away a vote, but that's also kind of a part of this like propaganda that we're not allowed to vote third party because third party is just
Nobody said
like,
you weren't allowed.
I don't know. No, but when people, it's usually like it's like a waste of vote. So a lot of people that they're just like your vote, like we vote for them, so that's your own power. So I'm kind of in between, like voting for Kamala personally because I find her policies better. I don't agree with everything she does. I don't really like her as much, but I kind of find her better than Trump in that way. I just don't personally like what he says. So that's why I would vote for her. But then third party, I feel like they're more on my values like directly, but also I know.
But do you vote the party and where it stands, like you're saying, or do you vote for the person?
I usually vote for the party where it stands because, like I said, I don't agree with everything Kamala says.
All right, so then it doesn't matter what Trump does, or it doesn't matter what she says. You're voting for the ideologies of the party.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter who says it. I can say it. You can vote for me. It doesn't make a difference. You don't care what I say. You care about what I stand for. True?
I guess. Like I care.
Poindexter, have you decided?
I plead the fifth.
But you don't have to answer.
have to
But
answer why.
are you going to vote?
Are
Let
you
me-
going-
Yes, I intend
Do you
to
have
vote.
a chosen party in your head of who you're voting for?
Yes, I do.
How about you, Nate?
Yeah.
So none of you guys are really undecided. Is really my question. You've all already have a decision in your head. You think of where you're leaning towards.
Yes, I have decided. I will say I've decided to vote because voting I feel like is important for everybody.
Would
so yes.
anything at this point sway you to the other party?
No.
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 You?
Same thing.
No?
No. Okay. So I'm just wondering who are still the undecided voters and what's going to sway them one way or another. I think the media that we've got in Florida right now, these amendments, are going to start swaying people because it's the issues at hand. It's the abortion issue. It's the marijuana issue. And those, they keep throwing and throwing and throwing it. And it may change people's opinions on the presidential election. And I don't know whether that's a good thing or a bad thing because that's state versus country. So I'm not sure whether it should, but in my mind, knowing what I know, I'm listening. Well, you know what? It's starting to sway people's minds on the abortion issue, I think.
I got to tell you, when I was at NYU, I was a political science minor. And I had to learn constitutional law, and I had to learn how the government worked. And for the first time last night, I heard two people that were very close to the truth of what's going on in our country. Do you know the president is the leader of the armies?
Yes.
And he does coinage. Those are the two things a president does.
What do you mean his coinage?
He mints the coins. He says how much money to
He's the head of the Treasury.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's it. All this thing about Roe versus Wade, because he picked this and this and this and this and that, you can vote things in, you can vote things out, you can add more people at the Supreme Court level and everything else. The Supreme Court level is supposed to be independent of anything that is selected, the people selecting them. That's turned political.
But the thing is, whatever's happening is making this country very divisive, divided at each other's, and then you've got this horrible thing that's happening in the Middle East, which way, and there's a whole lot of fighting going on everywhere.
But that's my point, because I say to myself, where am I going to be in 2 years? With either knucklehead that gets in. Because at this stage of the game, do I want a general, a leader who understands military tactics? Now, understand that not her or him are going to run the military.
No.
You got about 12 generals from every division sitting in there, throwing ideas at you. Biden at his age is not even the one making the decisions anymore. All these things that are happening in the Middle East are being decided by the generals. So
it's a mess.
Just make sure that whoever gets in has a good support cast.
But even before you even get to international, I feel like it's important to see what's happening around country. Like, there are strikes and unions going on all over the country, especially with the porters.
Oh my gosh.
Because they're not getting paid compensation. And then people are trying to blame, like, oh my God, these workers are going to cause this economy, yada, yada, yada. True, but also, why can't these companies pay these people their fair share, give them a proper contract, and make them have a living wages?
It isn't about not paying them. They're going to end up paying them something. The problem is that when you negotiate a deal, you can't show weakness in negotiation. This guy went from 40% to 76%. That's outrageous. Nobody negotiates a deal like that, except he says that 30% is left over is trillions and trillions of dollars. It's a negotiation ploy. But the ones that are going to end up paying is always us.
But what's interesting is it's not only the money that they want the job security. And I think we had this conversation with you about another strike that was happening. AI, we talked about it what's happening with the actors and the writers' strike. Mm-hmm. They want to make sure that technology and all this equipment isn't going to come in and replace these dock workers. And I get it, because if this is what you're trained to do, what are you going to do? Go then work at a fast food restaurant or be a bagger at a big box store?
They have a good argument.
So that is a good argument, because there's so much technology, and you can see, right, cranes and electrical equipment could probably move things easier, right? You have less workman's comp insurance because you have less injuries. Yeah. You got less loss, you've got less human error, but these are people's families and livelihoods, and this is the backbone of our country, is importing and exporting. So they have a good argument. They don't want to be replaced.
They have a great argument.
So, what is the fine line on equipment and technology versus, now I know at Amazon, they've trained a lot of people now to become leadership and management, because some of that's going to be changing. It's going to get automated.
It's going to get automated.
And then what are people going to do? Not everyone is equipped to be, professional. There are people we need people in all levels of trade in our country.
The issue here is that you have to balance out AI. They got cameras now. All you have to do is turn them on, and they talk to the computers. You don't need a human being anymore. And and they're shot as well, and they're mechanical. They use them on NBC and ABC. They turn, they go this, they go out, everything. Everything is done. Everything. And then they have words for you to say. You can AI a show. You want to do an AI show, we should do one. It's all mechanical. You don't have to even think, just deliver.
Well, you heard the voiceover yesterday, he did.
Yeah.
It was AI.
I know what it was. I just didn't want to say it.
It was AI, but our crew is learning different modalities of things, trial and error. It doesn't mean they're going to keep them, but it's important to see the trial and error of options, and then how the human touch is so important. And that's what I love. You weren't here yesterday. Nate, you were here when Alex did his presentation. What I loved about Alex's presentation is that he understood the concept of what we do here. That Skylar sat and said, but what you're missing is the personal touch that we offer in the studio that other studios don't.
You got to include that. Yes.
And she understood that, and she told him that. So all of this think tank that we had happening here, that was all human personality, touch, everything. That none of that could be AI.
No, you can't. You can't duplicate.
You can't duplicate what happened yesterday, right?
And you know, you sent me the article about how Gen Zs are getting fired faster than they're getting hired. And I got to tell you, you got to come up to the reality of what's happening around us right now.
The job market is actually insane. Like, it's so bad.
Well, it isn't the job market is bad. It's the people that you hire just don't work. They don't work because there are easier options, and you have to learn how to manipulate the system. So I met somebody. Do you know that you have to know how to use AI in a job interview?
No.
Yes.
No.
You have to be able to access different apps.
You have
and
to be
platforms.
able to use it in the jobs that you go. You know, you talked about your major.
Right.
When you interview, you better put in there that you can manipulate AI in your major, because if you don't, they're not going to hire you. This is a headhunter that I talked to, and I said to her, that doesn't make any sense. You're taking away creativity. She says, oh no. You have to learn how to use your creativity with today's technicalities, because what they're looking for is speed, they're looking to save money, and they're looking for best product. That was the article you sent me. And it's going to change the way business is done. So you're going to have to up the game. I tried to tell this to Alex yesterday. You're going to have to up your presentation. He did a great job with the thing he made.
Yeah.
But if you don't, you're going to keep saying, why aren't I being hired? How many producers that we talked and says, I don't understand why they won't hire me. We had that one kid that came in who worked
He wasn't a kid. He was a grown man.
and he worked for all these beautiful places, nice places, again, as an assistant, as an intern. And he was trying to get a job. He still doesn't have a job.
It's tough. So what do you think what about the job market is hard, Chelsea?
I just find that companies keep on saying that they're hiring and then not really, like, they don't hire anybody. So I'll find like people apply, and this is something that's happening generations for months and months and months, and they cannot like get a job at all, no matter if they have the bachelor's, no matter if they have the master's. Just like the job market is so small and like so now competitive that people in my generation have to kind of like settle for these basically like entry-level jobs, like you serve, you do this, you do that, until like it takes them months to get a job, where people have told us their entire lives, oh, all you have to do is go to school, get a bachelor's degree, and you'll be cool, like you'll get a job. And so everybody's now having to apply to jobs like the beginning of their senior year, because they know that they won't get a job for months at a time. So now everyone.
Who told you that?
To add to that as well, because I've been doing my fair share of job hunting as well. Like in our field, in my field, like in like the creative field, animation, you know, being a video editor, all that stuff. I'm seeing all these descriptions that they ask for, which is reasonable, but there's always two things that I was trying to look for: the level of the position and the experience that they need. Because like every time I see it, entry level, okay, perfect, 5 years experience, it's a deal breaker every single time.
But
like,
you know something?
5 years, a AAA title, like this, and that. For entry level,
They'll ask you for so much experience when like how are you supposed to get experience if everybody's asking for 5 years of experience, and this is an entry level position? So
Now
it's
it's
just a
5 years,
contradiction.
not 2. It used to be 2.
Used to be.
It'll be. I'm over exaggerating. It'll be 2 or 3 years, but you'll be like in the entry level position. Like every single job is asking for the same thing. How are we supposed to even get in the entry level?
yeah, but
Because you're gonna You know, the problem is, I don't know who told you that you get a piece of paper and life is done. I don't know. Whoever told you that is misinformed. When you're going to enter college, we've been talking about this. It's one of the reasons that we are now trying to work with the high schools. You got to start doing your experience training at freshman year. By the time you graduate, if you haven't done 4 years to 5 years of experience in any of the fields that you pick, they're not going to hire you. Because there are people right now out there with everything that's going on that has shifted from what you do to what you do to what you do. So you got to stay ahead of the game. That's the first thing. Presentation is the second thing. Have you ever seen how some of the producers that come in here come for an interview? Are you serious? Are you
They
kidding
wear, like,
me?
pants or shorts.
I remember that there's that one dude who
Came in his bathing suit and flip-flops.
yeah.
Yeah.
We sent
What?
him home. Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, I
When
remember
did that happen?
Even I sent him home, and I went
For an interview
to the
or?
beach. Or are you
For an
coming for an
interview.
interview?
He told me
That's
directly,
insane.
Go home and get change or no job or something like that.
I told him, go home and stay home.
You had to. The way. No, that's so. No.
But this is, but you gotta remember. So now the next 3 people that walk through the door, you're gonna be, oh man, what am I getting myself into? And I keep using the same thing from Tulsa King that Sylvester Stallone says. You went to college for 4 years and you kicked it and you did it and you used some other colorful language, and then I'm gonna hire you. And the first thing that comes to my mind is, if I hire you, are you gonna F up my business? And you know something? Technically, he's correct. Because they're hiring you to represent them, yes? To do the best you can and then some. And if you don't do that, again, the article you sent me, they're gonna fire you. They are firing Gen Zs faster than they're hiring them. And it ain't even close. Now, why is that? Think about it. You gotta change your mindset. Forget about what you were told and work on today. Change your mindset.
Because you know what's interesting? You guys all want work-life balance. Your employers are good for a little bit of work-life balance.
A little bit.
A little bit, because they understand it, but not to the degree that your generation wants the work-life balance.
Yeah, I feel like that's also why we not only you say we get fired, but also I feel like a lot of Gen Z quits. If that makes sense, like if we find a job like either isn't serving us, isn't doing what we need to do, like we'll just move jobs. And that's
That isn't a feather in your cap, honey.
I know, no,
She
I'm
knows.
saying it's also a very common thing because also a lot of times people move jobs because we're not stuck on like sitting at one job for like 20 years. Like we'll say one job for 5 years, one job for 3, yada
That's
yada
called
yada.
entitlement.
No, I don't think it's entitlement. It's more of like we know that if we move jobs, we can get more money because sometimes when you stay in a certain job
So then I
in a
hire
certain
you.
field,
I
and
hire
won't
you. I
get-
take a chance on you with no experience. I hire you just knowing that you're going to leave me at 3 years to go work for him.
You don't know that we're gonna leave you.
You,
It
but
depends
you're just
on the
telling me
person.
that now.
I'm telling you, like
The generation as a
but
whole
our
does that. But
But
generation-
this is what's happening. You think, I got to tell you something. The person that you're interviewing in front of is a doctor. They know what's good and what's bad, and every trick in the book, they probably did it. That's how they got to where they're at. So they know a con when they hear a con. Or what's your 5-year plan? Well, I don't go that far. I go maybe 3 years. Or they tell you things in 5 years that doesn't move the needle to improve the quality of the business. But they're going to analyze you. I think Aaron Rodgers said it best on Sunday when he got his butt beat. Accountability today is everything. And I think that what's happening is that your generation doesn't want to be accounted. You should think about a 20-year plan. It doesn't mean you have to
We
stay.
do think about a 20-year plan, but like I said, like it doesn't. Like if our 20-year plan is you want to get to X, Y, and Z, and we don't think that staying in this one job is gonna get me there, then we're gonna quit, move on to the next job. They're gonna pay me more money to give me more experience.
It's a good excuse to quit.
You know what else I heard? I heard dating apps are going down, going sideways, because people are now looking to meet more on experiential opportunities, running clubs and book clubs. And
Yes, running clubs are a big thing.
running clubs are a big thing because you get to meet other people that have similar interests.
Yeah, because what they do is there's in New York. So basically, they all wear black and they all run like 4 miles and they all at the end meet up at a bar and then they all like hang out, get to know each other. That's how you meet each other in person because like dating apps right now are all just becoming hookup apps. So nobody can really find anybody there because nobody's there for the right intention. So
That's what I heard.
like it's a big thing in saying if you want to find adults as friends or you want to like find relationships as adults, you have to go out to the places where everyone is. That's a common interest. So if you go to a running club or hot girl walks, like that can be.
What's a hot girl walk?
Hot girl walk, so it's a new trend. So like hot girls that like walk to like start walking everywhere, and so like a lot of girls get together and they just walk and they hang out and they talk so they get their steps in. So like
That's
if you're
cool.
a hot girl, you walk. It's like
Hot
a form
girl
of
walk.
exercise. Yeah.
That's very cool.
Accountabilities is everything. Poindexter, you do dating apps?
Maybe sometime in
love
the
his
future.
laugh.
I kind of want to like
You wanna
meet
try
like.
What is it? Swipe left, swipe right? You want to try one?
I mean, if it comes to that one day, sure. But I kind of want to like try to meet someone in person because like
How's that working for you?
He's young.
not the
He's only
greatest.
24.
24. Yep.
You're 24, so I'm gonna hook you up to an app.
He's
Don't
young.
do what Baxton did. Baxton was dating a bot.
Oh
What?
God.
What do you mean he was dating a bot?
He was talking to a bot.
Yeah, I remember because it was around here. Was like a few months ago before he left. He was talking to a girl. Turns out it was a bot.
What's a bot?
And he
And it was the
didn't
same bot Zach
realize.
was
He didn't know
talking
until I told
to.
him.
Shorty was talking to the same bot.
And Shorty was talking to the same bot. They were both dating a bot.
Oh my
But I'll make
God.
sure you don't date a bot.
Girl, oh my
Ever
god.
dated a
That's
bot?
why- I think that's why some of the dating apps are a bit of a turn off for people because like 9 out of 10 they're bots.
They're bots.
Yeah, but it's fun if you find somebody who's real. It doesn't mean you have to date them. It doesn't mean you have to marry them. It doesn't mean anything. But you meet them and you go to dinner, let's say, it goes to that level. Or you just become friends and you talk
Another
on the
one.
phone.
What the heck? Now you got a telemarketer.
It's all part of the learning experience because then you learn how to talk to people. And one of the problems with this interviewing process is that you have to learn how to communicate and talk when you're being interviewed. You have to have that back and forth, make the flow, make it sound like it's the guy's idea who's interviewing you. Even if you have all the answers, don't show that hand. There's just so many things that you can do to improve your chances. But that's why I think you should do a dating
Running
app.
club.
A dating app. So a dating app. So that at least you can get more comfortable talking to whatever turns you on, opposite sex. I don't know. Whatever.
I mean, that's a good point.
It's a good point. It ain't gonna hurt you. It's
Yeah.
not like they're gonna say, "Oh my God, I know you." Happened to me once, but that's a different story.
All right, you ready to wrap this fun show up? Dating apps and more. Are you dating a bot? Anyone ever dated a bot?
Let us know if you have a bot in your
I'm
feed.
thinking the running club would be kind of cool. I'm thinking I'd like to try it.
Why?
The
You wanna
running
go on a
club.
dating app?
Definitely one in Boca. The running clubs, yeah, they're everywhere.
I know there's
Are
one
you
in Delray.
dating? You
Not
started
to
dating?
date, but maybe you meet other people. It's like a great networking opportunity also.
That's not what
Yeah,
it's
meet a
for.
lot of
The
friends, a
running
lot of
club
women.
is meant to date.
Only if
They
you're
want-
not
A
black.
running club could be for dating. A running club is just to meet people
I
with
think you
common
wear different
interests.
colors based on what
I
you're
gotta
looking
tell you,
to
the
do.
running club has become what the gyms used to be, and then COVID came along, and everybody's discussed it. So now they go outside, and they're doing the same thing. It's sweaty bodies getting together.
No, I don't
They
think
say you
gyms
wanna
are
date?
like that anymore because I feel like socially, like people like who go to the gym mind their business because nobody wants to look at anybody else.
We should. I know there's a Delray Beach running club. Maybe we'll look into one and bring them in and see what's going on.
No.
We had someone in here that's part doing it. I forgot to remember who it was.
Yeah.
Maybe they're part of the chamber.
Yeah.
Let's meet them.
You join. You go date.
It's like, well, the one I saw in New York, it's 3 miles 1 day a week. It's like, you could do that. You used to do that, walk 3 miles a day. We used to walk around here laps and laps and laps.
Yeah, but that's not the running club. That's like Plenty of Fish.
Yeah, but you kind
No,
of
but
do
there's
that
different-
anyway.
different, there's
You ain't
different
going
paces
fishing.
for the running club. So you can there's slow people and there's fast people who run. So you can
No,
be.
I understand the techno. I understand what running means. That you're looking above
To
it.
meet other people.
Yeah, and to meet other people. That's what it is. And, Plenty of Fish. Why don't we do that? Why don't we have Plenty of Fish parties? They do them.
Oh, speaking of parties, we're having an anniversary party November 1st, so save the date. It's a Friday night. We're celebrating our 5-year anniversary in the studio and our first fundraiser event for Aunt Media
put this
Futures
together?
Foundation.
Was it you?
They weren't here,
Um,
so got to make the announcement, November 1st. Got a month to put it together. So if
What?
you're interested in being a part
Here?
of right here,
What day is that?
a Friday night,
I don't know if I'm here.
well, I think you'll make
I
sure you're
may-
here.
I may be running. Is Alicia Keys gonna be here?
Let's invite her. You never know. All
She
right.
wasn't at the play.
Have a great morning, everyone. Stay safe. Nightmare Before Christmas behind us, and we will see you midday. Bye-bye.